live stream that I was doing yesterday ended abruptly. We did a little more exploration after it. I think it ended halfway through the first idea, towards the end of the first idea. That was the first idea. These orbs that keep colliding and coming out of each other. That was the first idea. I had one more idea, which was this smaller, sorry, not smaller, these small guys, robots. This was what I had like an idea on the left. So these guys working, I can show you here, working in some kind of like mail agency or something. Like they are putting mail in these canisters and then shoving them up these pneumatic tubes in a very comical fashion, and they're working in tandem, they're working in a rhythm. Almost like they hand over things in a beat or something like that. These small guys, I was just so yeah, these small guys, they keep working non-stop, and that is what portrays the beat on the screen. So all of their motions happen within the mentioned timings. The frame number 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, and 120. All of those can be visualized by how like one guy might place it on here, or the other guy takes it out of the conveyor belt, or how this person might like push it out of the I keep saying person, not people. Small guys, these clunkers. So that was the second idea. It was an explanation of like how it can be presented, like a side view, something like that. Potentially even thinking of what camera angles can be explored. What I found out is that what I feel is that if we just show like one angle, the next angle, and comes back out, comes back down to show the next angle, it's nothing new to learn or like see. Think of something else to tackle it. But beyond that, then there is the idea of the robot, the whole room of robots. These they are working on these canisters like clockwork. They're almost like the same as they were. So that creates a rhythm. How the normal cut ice, or how the mochi makers in Japan, they're working on in a rhythm, right? So something like that. which were like used in the past to like send mail, I believe. That was just something that came to my mind. But in execution, this is gonna be hard because I have to animate so many of these guys and they have to be working. So I have to animate the things in the environment also, things like a conveyor belt or like the actual canisters, how they will go through these tubes and everything. So there is more work to be done in this idea as opposed to the orbs. But even they have their own work level of complexity because within the orbs there can potentially be simulations involved. Yeah, there's just pros and cons of the ideas. And the next idea that I had was elevators of some sort, and they're like constantly going up and down. What's about the first idea? Like, sketch. And they're constantly just going up and down without any stop really. Like there is no time to breathe for these people. Oh, something like that. That's what should be conveyed. So that is my idea. It feels very dystopian, very inhuman. So the people are like have to feel lifeless almost. And it's like these elevators are going up and down in a non-stop motion. Like there is multiple elevators, let's say. And so what the people do or how they enter and exit, that's what convey the beats, right? Or how the elevators come to a stop, they come to a halt from motion, that happens on beat, on the rhythm. So with the opening of the doors, the closing of the doors, and people getting in, people getting out, all of that can happen within the rhythm. It's almost like systematic. I don't know how to say it. It's like a corporate systematic movement, and that can happen on specific beat. So there is no beat per se, but it's more like it's like a uniform rhythm that makes one person indistinguishable from the other. So the story that I have is that there is no individuality. Sorry, individuality. Yeah. And so this was just an idea for what a person can look like. I wanted these long legs, and then their dark silhouette is the only thing that is accentuated, because that is the only thing that might be required for the concept. As the humanity is basically what we see. How we see is a glimpse of a person, right? A glimpse of individuality, if any. This was another sketch because I wanted like an office feeling, this. This is AI. But the mood, right? The green dystopian vibe, the retro aesthetic, potentially that can work, and also something like this. Basically the same thing. It's more futuristic. Like, this is the idea is not conveyed, I guess, properly in this. But it's like an opposite way. So we're looking through like the glass of the office building, so we're looking from outside. I believe I had reference for it to something like this. But for some reason we are looking directly into the elevators of the office. So there is a chance we see lots of reflections from what is potentially on the opposite side, as in the back of the camera, casting a lot of reflections. Several pounds, I think. Even though I'm not completely convinced between all of these ideas, I like this one in-house. Let's take it in communication of a story and how effective it can be. So yeah, so I was just thinking of making a block out for this one, just to see if it works. It's not like I'm starting the actual animation because I'm not convinced on ideas yet, but I want to see how this can be visualized. Totally, I guess. Yeah, so I'm just trying to match something like this maybe for the first position of the camera. So basically what the camera does is try to figure that out with Suzanne like this. The default moves exponentially fast. So there are these camera presets, right? Which they've already set. So we can choose one of these as our actual camera motion. So the difference between these, like if these three are fast, I believe the difference is in these like these curves, interpolation. I have no idea. I have to figure all this out. And then so basically I think we'll timing of the camera and what the camera is doing is basically the same for all of these. For all the fast ones, it's the same for all of the normal ones. It's also the same for all the slow ones. But what changes is the way it's handled, is the interpolation. That is what we are. That is the linear, the snappy, or the exponential. Yes, I think the most default or the most standard motion can normal lens. So I'll just keep that for now. When I see in 3D perspective, what the camera does is it goes up. So Suzanne is our subject. We're looking head on first. So that's the camera. We're looking head on first. I'm just talking through my thoughts here, just trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, so and then it looks up. At frame 30, it looks up directly above the subject. Is this right? 70? 75. Yeah, 75. Yes. I'm not going to confuse myself. At some point, at 60 we're already out. Yeah, so 60 is where the change is. So front, top, we just rotate clockwise while still looking down on the subject. And when we zoom out, still looking down on the subject. And then we are upside down on the right side of the object. That is the default camera that they have. Head on from above, rotated but still above when we are on the side. So we see the front, the top, and the side. I try to apply that to elevators. Just make a walkout with the cube. Complicated. Just keep 2 for now. Out of frame when the shot starts. I have no idea how to edit. It's I. Yeah, they're doing something. I guess I should do the major motions. Go from 30. I just realized the flaw with the pendulum. We can't be outside this circle if with our subject. The subject has to stay somewhere around it. It's where the camera sees. This is not at all how I want the film to be, but I want to know the emotions. I think I have to move the camera a little closer to the actual orb. But this works. So let's see. Upside down. It's just so that we don't get confused. I would want it perfect. Camera motion can't work. Create my own camera angles. issue with what I was thinking. If it has to be three-dimensional, because the camera basically rotates around the object. The motion of the elevators also has to be three-dimensional. If it's a single up and down on two dimensions, when the camera rotates on top, we don't see that motion. What we see is this. It could be coming towards us, it could be going away from us, but all we see are these squares. Because if we use the template cameras, if we don't, we'll be limiting our camera motion to basically the vertical axis. It basically goes up, down, up and down. Again and again, every 15 frames. So I was just thinking of this in terms of template cameras. Where by 315, is it 315? Frame 30. And frame 15 is pretty normal. Basically, the arrival of the first lift. This happens. Like they are different axes. This goes this way, in this way, but the other elevator goes these directions. So here, between these two, we have a camera rotation. Which puts us on top of the subject. So now these elevators, this elevator starts in this way, which continue in 2D view. It basically continues the same direction and the arrival of this elevator, but it is a different, and it's a different axis also. Because we've rotated the camera, it is continuing in the same direction. Yeah, just color code them. That'll be so much easier. Okay, then we rotate clockwise, still above the system. By frame 60. So 45 can show the exit is elevator, and that's it, I guess. Something more has to happen. There should definitely be another elevator arriving. Yes, if this one is leaving here, I think another one has to enter directly in this axis. Yeah, same goes here as well. If this is just arriving, that means one is just left. Yeah, so one enters right here, and then, yeah, we say the this one is exiting here. Gives us, I think, a similar layout as this, but now flipped. Basically, this one. Yeah, I don't think they change the positions on the 2D screen. The pink one always stays right and the blue one stays left. That is still the next camera, I'm guessing, where we go to the side. So on frame 60, we still stay on top. Because we would have rotated by 90 degrees. completely zoom out as well. No, the zoom out comes later. Okay. The zoom out happens at frame 90, I'm guessing. So the camera has motion every other rhythmic frame. Zero has camera motion. I mean, it doesn't have camera motion in the first frame, but then 30 has the next camera motion, 60 has the next one. So these in between ones are basically to be accentuated, or the motion is to be conveyed within the subject. It is a complex idea because if another blue elevator has to arrive right here, it basically blocks the camera. If it's arriving from behind the camera to the screen, it would block the camera for a few seconds, which is fine, I guess. I have to see.